Tia Moore's new show, My Next Act. Let me tell you, I rewatched the show and Tia is so shady. She shaded Cory throughout this whole show that I was like, anyways, it's my birthday today. October 11th is my birthday. I am 47 years old today. Yes, darlings. And yes, the hair is down. The hair is down, honey. It takes about 2 days to, you know what I mean, girls that get your hair braided. Take about 2 days for you to be able to manipulate it. But we gonna talk about that later because I'm gonna try to do a live later. Let's look at Tia and Cory when they were on Black Love. Do y'all remember that? Just right at, let me speed this up a little bit. I'm
to the grave. So I know she's with me and she knows I'm with her. And that's just, everything's not perfect. Marriage is work.
And that's
marriage is work. I'm not here.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm not gonna be here like, everything is wrong.
Did y'all see that?
You have to work hard, to stay married, and stay together. You know what I'm saying?
There are times
when see that. Let's go back and do it again. Let's do that again. Man, let me finish.
So I know she's with me and she knows I'm with her. And that's just, everything's not perfect. Marriage is work.
And that's
marriage is work. I'm not here.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm not gonna be here like, everything is wrong. You have to work hard, to stay married, and stay.
No wonder she divorced him. Oh my God. Okay. So listen, it's my birthday and I'm going out to have breakfast with my baby's daddy. I love to go have breakfast up with him on my birthday because that's also the day he proposed to me and begged me to marry him and be his wife forever so he could take care of me and pay all of my bills. So I spend my birthday with him alone. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up. And thank you for your love and support. Okay, really quick before baby daddy come down the stairs. Okay. So some of these I already talked about. So I'm just going to run through it again because I didn't run through it before. I just partially watched when I was half asleep. Okay. So they talked about how they've been together forever. Couldn't date till she was 18, 22 years relationship. She's never been alone. Okay. And I think that's the big thing for Tia, right? She's never been alone and Tia needs to be alone. And, they have the 2 kids, right? And the boy didn't want to be on the video. Now, Tia was in the baby's room and the baby picked up a doll and it's a worry doll. And Tia says, she can feel my energy. Well, I don't like the word energy, but I just feel so bad. Well, kids pick things up. I know even my kids, they can pick stuff up. Lexi picks stuff up. Little Michael can pick things up. And so I understand that kids pick things up, but I just think it was so sad that the little baby went and got the worry doll for the mom not to worry. Then she said that, she has to adopt to drop in the kids off to the dad. She wanted a 2-parent house. I did this video already. And my thing is, Tia, you had a 2-parent home. So what happened? Right? She keep dropping little hints and I'm like, she says it's hard to visualize that she doesn't have that no longer. Why don't you have that anymore, Tia? You had it. Why you don't have it? Now, over here, it's a learning channel, right? I teach over here that the husband you choose is the second most important decision. So depending on the type of life you want to have, you want to make sure you choose the right husband. And later, Tia is going to say she didn't realize she have a choice. As if to say she's been with him for all these years. The only next step was to get married. The only option was to get married to Cory. No, you had another option to walk away. Okay. She said being alone has been the most challenging part of the divorce. And this is the time when she talked about wishing she could have her sister to call and she lives away. And I'm like, okay, girl, pick up the phone and call her. I already did that video. So go ahead and check that video out. And I think Tia needs to be alone. I understand being alone is challenging. Bishop T.D. Jakes preached a sermon years and years ago, Alone but Not Lonely. And I think since Tia's never been alone in her life, she needs to spend some time alone. And it's just an adjustment that has to be made because you've been with your sister your whole life. Then you met Cory, you was with him for 22 years, and then the kids, and then they're going over there. So you've never been alone. And I think single women, you need to learn to be alone before you get married, okay? Then she didn't want to be alone, so she had to call her friends to come over to shake this mood that she's in. And again, she's saying she don't want to be alone. Natasha, the friend that lived next door, came by, and then they talked about the red carpet video. And I did a video on this again, okay? And so go ahead and check that video out. She said in the beginning of the divorce, she was so obsessed with what people thought. Right. I guess any of us would be, I wonder what they're saying, but I just think when there's trauma in your life, divorce is a trauma, you need to just unplug and be alone. Unplug, get off the computer, get off the TV, get off your phone. Later, she's going to tell us she had Google alerts. No, girl, that's going to drive you crazy. And I think she needs to just go ahead and unplug. And she was like, one of the headlines, why did Tia give up a good man, a good thing, and leave her man? And then she looked up, she was like, in other words, y'all think he was a good man, but he wasn't a good man. That's what Tia is saying. That's why I'm like, girl, Tia shaded Cory throughout this whole thing. She was, as I said, she's shady. She's shady, okay? And she said it made her mentally ill. So, okay, I'm like, okay, it made you mentally ill, Tia. Have you been to counseling? Have you been to therapy? Did you take the kids to therapy? Because this is a trauma for them too, that daddy is not coming home every night. Daddy is in another home and you have to spend some time with daddy. You have to spend some time with mama. So you're saying what people were saying about you made you mentally ill. Did you get some counseling? Did you go see a therapy? And did you bring the kids to therapy? Then she said right after the divorce, she had to go back to work. I did a video on that, and she didn't get time to process. And I think you need time to process. It's the same thing when she had the baby, Cree. Remember, she had to run back to work right after she had the baby with a grown nigga laid up in the house. Grown nigga was up in the house, but right after she had the baby, she really didn't even get to enjoy being a new mom, nursing the baby. You know, she had to drop the baby or put the baby and run back to work, because if she didn't work, they wouldn't eat. For those of you in the comments talking about the foolishness you're talking about, Tia was the breadwinner. Cory did day jobs here and there, but it wasn't anything to kind of provide for a family, take care of a family, take care of your wife when she had a baby that she couldn't even take a break from having a baby. She had to run back to work. So now she's saying when the same thing with the divorce, she didn't get time to process. But like I said in the video yesterday, women think, I think at least 5 years before you go file a divorce, like I'm really going to think this thing through. 3 to 5 years. So Tia's been really contemplating, thinking about divorce for a while, and then she finally went ahead and do it. But when it's finally done, you need to take time to really process what happened. You know, drop the kids off at your mama's house, go in a hotel for a day or two a week, and really cry and contemplate about what happened. Because again, divorce is what? It's like ripping your limbs out of your body without medication. That's what divorce is, because divorce is a covenant relationship. You become one. In marriage, this is the only time you become one. The same as Christ and the church is one, okay? So Natasha says people see her doing TikTok. Listen to this. And they're like, she's not fazed. But no one has any idea what she's been dealing with for years. What have you been dealing with for years, Tia? Tell us, we want to know. So here is another hint of her saying, listen, things was not perfect. Y'all didn't know what I was going through. Nobody knows what Tia's been going through. But personally, like I've said she got tired of being the breadwinner. So she said it was the first time she realized she had choices. Go ahead and watch the video I did on that. Yes, ladies, not because you've been with your boyfriend for 10 or 14 years mean you have to marry him. I'm against getting with boyfriends at 18 and 19 and spending your whole time with this man. You need to date. You need to go out and meet other men because they might have other qualities that you like that the boyfriend you got don't have. And so after they've been dated, it's like, okay, the next step is to get married. But what if you realize that you're not supposed to marry this man? So then she says she realized she had choices, as if when she married Cory, she didn't have any choice. The only choice was to marry him. And this is why I'm against boyfriends and girlfriends. So then the assistant come over. I don't like her. And she says since divorce, she's been grinding. Tia is saying she's been grinding, running a business, acting, moment, and so on. Sierra says she's a girl from the bonds. She's a healer. Ciara is a dum-dum. Trust me when I say we want to see your dating relationship, honey. Watch out for women talk about their healers, because you know what? They're going to attract broken men, fixer-uppers, builder-uppers, and I do not like this girl for Tia, especially being in her private business and life. She could work in the office, but that's it. But as far as having this little girl, 21-year-old, around as your spiritual healer and all this bull, it is not good for Tia, an almost 50-year-old woman. Yes, I am 47 years old. Boo-boo, I'm 50. See, unlike some of y'all, I'm not afraid of my age because God's been good to me. So what the heck do I look like having some little 21-year-old girls around me giving me advice on marriage and men? And your brain is not even fully developed. Anyways, child, let me her big dad come downstairs. Okay. So then she bring up the whole red carpet. I did a video on this, and she said that Cory was uncomfortable, and she wanted to hug him and tell him that it's gonna be okay. Mind you, all these years, nigga has never been to this event that Cory come, but all of a sudden now you's there, right? And she said that's been her role, and society tell us to cater to men, to please them, birth their children, and that mindset is toxic. No, Tia. That mindset is not toxic because marriage is an exchange. See, what's toxic is that marriage is one-sided. What's toxic is wives, we do for the men, we do everything for the men. We have their babies, we wash, we cook, we clean, we comfort them. That's toxic, but that's not marriage, is it? That is not God's intention of marriage. Marriage is an exchange. I give my husband my respect, my love, my adoration, my praise, my admiration. I give him a womb to have his babies. And then what does he do for me in return? He loves me like Christ loved the church. He provides for me. He protects me. He professes his love. He makes sure I have everything I need. He takes me out on dates. He sends me flowers. He cares for me. He does not become complacent in our marriage. Talk about we've been married 12 years. I don't need to date her anymore. I don't need to take her out to lunch. I don't need to buy her flowers. No. That's why people go get a divorce, because men especially become complacent. And one of the best advice my father, Pastor Bradshaw, gave us is say, whatever you did, he told Big Mike, whatever you did to get her, you need to keep doing that and then some more. And he told me the same thing. Whatever you did to attract him, you need to keep doing that and then some more. So I keep myself up. I put on a little red lipstick. I get up in the morning and wash my ass. I put on perfume. I dress up. I respect him. I honor him. I adore him. I praise him. I make his meals, I prepare his clothes, all of those things. And in return, he bought this beautiful, big old beautiful house that I have, put money in the bank, have everything I need. The kids, we're not in need of anything. I am not going outside of my husband to get any need met that God created him to meet. I don't ask nobody to put a roof over my head. I don't call my dad to talk about I can't pay my rent. None of those things, because it is my husband's responsibility. So what's toxic, Tia, is the idea that women are only to give, and men are not supposed to return anything in return. And what's toxic, especially in the Black community, is women are to build men up and fix them up and struggle with them while they arrive. In the meantime, you're dying on the inside. You got high blood pressure. You're sad. You're discontent. You're lonely. You're alone in your marriage with a whole husband. That's what's toxic. But supporting your husband, helping him to feel more comfortable, that's not toxic. And then she said that mindset is toxic if you believe it. And she said, I did for a minute. And she said, you'll stay in a situation like that and life is too short. Yeah, I wouldn't stay in a situation like that if I'm the one giving, pouring out. Even for my kids. The kids know, come give mommy a hug. Give mommy a kiss. This is my birthday. I told her I want 47 hugs and 47 kisses. Lou Michael already gave me 3 this morning. It's an exchange. Then she brings up, she don't know how the media lean into the negativity when there's a whole family. Well, Tia, why aren't you thinking about your children? You're the one that's putting everything on social media. You're the one doing this show, letting us in, talking, shading your ex-husband. Why aren't you thinking about there's a whole family? Why aren't you protecting your kids? You're doing this show, you're going out, you're dating, which is what you should have done as a single woman. You're going on these dates with these men. I mean, Tia, you're putting it all out there. So I'm trying to understand, what do you want us to do? Not talk about it? I don't understand. See, if you didn't want the media to talk about it, okay, you filed for divorce, you would have pulled your blinds down, close your door, get on social media, and you would be acting like Cory is acting. So, but you can't be putting all this stuff out here and then talk about the media leaning into negativity and there's a whole family. Are you thinking about your children? Because quite as it's kept, mamas, once those kids come, it's as if your life and what you want don't matter. You have to focus on those kids and try to wiggle what you want in between. And don't have a child with special needs. So I understand, Tia, at 46 years old, you want to go back and relive your 20s, but boo-boo, you have 2 children, a teenage boy and a little girl. So all this that you're doing with the show and the dates and stuff, and I'm not saying not to date, because I believe in dating, especially if you want to get married again. I don't understand what you want us to say and what you want us to do, Tia, when you're not protecting your kids. I'm trying to understand, Tia. Go ahead and tell us. Okay. And so she says she's afraid and uncomfortable with change and why she has a lot of anxiety. Okay. I think a lot of people is uncomfortable with change and we can get anxious at times. So if the anxiety is to the point that is so uncontrollable, have you been to a psychologist and a psychiatrist? And are you getting help for the anxiety? We all get anxious at times, right? We all get anxious. But are you getting help? Is it preventing you from living your life going on? So then she's home alone and she says she's documenting how she's feeling. And it's okay not to be okay. And I absolutely love that. And that's what I was saying yesterday, that Tia was with this man for 22 years. So some of y'all want her to get over Cory in a year and a half. Boo-boo, it's going to take her 7 years, at least 7 years, to really get over this man she's been with for 22 years. And I love that she said, it's okay not to be okay. And as women, it's like people just want us to act like everything is okay, but it's okay not to be okay. And I think that's why you need a couple of friends. That's why you need a counselor, a therapist to kind of help you through some of these moments, because you need somebody to tell you it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have a pity party. It's okay to lay in the bed all day. It's okay not to lay, if you want to lay in the bed about 2 days, that's all I give you. 2 days without washing your eyes, that's fine. After 2 days, girl, you gotta get up. But it's okay not to be okay. And I think women, as women, especially moms and wives and ex-wives, and we need to be able to tell ourselves it's okay not to be okay. Because especially for Black women, we put on the strong, independent Black woman cape, and we want to act like men, be like men, and do what men do. But God didn't create us to do and be like that. And it's and we're stressed and high blood pressure, heart disease, and all of these things because we're trying to be everything to everyone except to ourselves. And it's okay not to be okay, Tia, especially when you've had such a traumatic experience in your life of separating yourself from this man that you've been with for 22 years and married for 14 years. Tia, it's okay not to be okay. And if it takes you about 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years not to be okay, it's okay, girl. I'm here to tell you, Tia, it's okay, because you've been with this man longer than you was alone, single, by yourself. And ladies, I think we need to understand that when people go through trauma, it's okay not to be okay. We want to just get over it, get up tomorrow and move on. No, sit in it, like she says. She said this is new for her, and she used to have people and kids in the home, and it doesn't feel good. She feels alone, and so she invited a few friends over. You know how sometimes God is trying to do some stuff in our lives, but instead of just being alone with God, we want noise around us. And I just think Tia needs to take some time. Tia shouldn't even be dating right now. You want to go out to eat? Maybe you need to have a couple of just friends. We want to go out to eat, okay? So then Essence Atkins came over, and a couple of the girls, Ciara and Natasha, and she was married for 10 years, Essence, and then she got a divorce. And she said something I thought was beautiful, and the Essence looks beautiful too. She says men doesn't have the permission to be sad, vulnerable, and emotional. They do not. They don't. Why? Because they're the protectors and the providers. So I don't care how you feel. If you don't feel like going to work today, yeah, you need to get up and go to work because you have a family to take care of. It's different if you're sick and you need to go to urgent care and you need to. Okay, Daddy's coming down. Okay, moving on. Okay, but I thought that was powerful. What she says, and Essence says you need to give up what people think. And she said, Tia says she lived her life for others, and she found validation in living her life for others. And I think that's because Tia never really knew who she was or figured out who she was, because before she could figure out who she was hemmed up underneath a man. Okay. Tia says she got tired. Listen to this again. She says, I think Tia is giving us hints throughout this whole thing. Tia says she got tired of not being authentic. So she was fake. Hello. She was fake happy. She was fake. She got tired of showing up at events, people thinking everything was perfect when it wasn't, and she went home and being alone. I have to stop here because Publicious came down and he has to go to the office afterwards. So I'm gonna stop right here, okay? She got tired of not being authentic, so it was fake. It was fake happy.
Stay together, you know what I'm saying?
There are times when I'm like, wow, like last year was pretty tough. But this year,
she was pretending everything was okay, except because of Sister Janice. Because I know a naked wife when I see one. Okay, I know it's a naked wife when I see one. Okay, so this is part 1. I'm gonna come back later after baby daddy dropped me off back home, and then I'm gonna finish part 2. I love you. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for the birthday. I'm getting a few cash apps. Thank you. My God, I didn't put my thing. Oh my God. It's below. I'm going to Burlington's after the, well, not today because baby daddy got to go to Brooklyn, Harlem, one of them. I don't know. But I'll go tomorrow. So thank you for your love and your support. Thank you for picking up my books on Amazon. Thank you for showing me love. Thank you for the comments and the reviews. And I don't ask for nothing. God is my source to supply all of my need. I just ask for you guys to help my books out on Amazon, because when you get a book, the more you buy my books and the more you comment on my books, Amazon push them up to the top. I absolutely love you. I adore you. Let me know what you think, and I will finish this when I come home. Okay, love you. And we'll try to do a live later on the whole Tia thing. Okay, love you. Talk to you later. Bye.